Now, I don't know about you guys, but I found it really hard to sleep last night, and I'm not talking about the heat. I'm talking about what happened in Southport because I'm a parent, and my greatest fear when my children were teeny was something like this happening to them. Now, my other half was born in the mid 80s. I was born in the late 70s, so I have a better memory of that time than she does, and we're always talking about stuff like this. And I told her last night, Britain today was absolutely nothing like Britain back then in the 80s. When I was the same age as these poor kids who got slaughtered yesterday in Southport, and by the way, a third little girl has died now, unfortunately, and those poor parents, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't imagine the grief that they're going through right now. I really can't. It's like stuck in my head, and I've seen the images. People have posted photos of um, these kiddies bleeding on pavements, being attended to by paramedics, and I'm not sure if that was the right thing. I really don't. People are saying yes, we should because this is what the left has allowed society to turn into. And then again, I'm thinking of the dignity of the parents because it could be one of these kids who is dead now, and oh my god, what a mess. So anyway, back then in the 80s, I was a little kid and I was at the house every summer holiday and half term at the crack of dawn out with my mates, and I was back in at dusk, and there was never any fear of anything like this happening. And I'll say it, we didn't have people here worshipping a cult of death that says that all unbelievers have to die. Now, make of that what you will, ladies and gentlemen, but I blame the decline in our society today, in communities, in Britain and the West in general, on left-wing people and governments. I really do. We have liberal judges dishing out soft sentences to dangerous people, and I was a prison officer for 11 years, and I promise you folks, even though a lot of prisoners are simply imprisoned because being at the wrong place at the wrong time, there are people in prison who are evil and they're out to get you. And it's the bleeding heart lefties who campaign, get into authority and in positions of power who ensure that these people are out on our streets. These are people completely out of touch with normal working class people. They're really completely out of touch. They are living in exclusively white, middle class, leafy, expensive suburbs, and they are well away from daily problems. And so when dangerous people are being let out of prison into society, it's not their society, it's not their communities, it's ours they put them in. It's sinkhole council estates. When they're protesting for refugees welcome and they're advocating for open borders, then those migrants, the people we don't know who the hell they are, they don't go into middle class suburbs where they live. Oh no, nowhere near them. They put them with us, and it's not working. And when an outrage like this happens, they're blaming, of course, the far right, the so-called far right, because police are now apparently monitoring a possible far-right rally in Southport this evening after an independent news outlet spread apparent false information about the perpetrator. Now, apparently this has inflamed community tensions. It shouldn't be this that's inflaming community tensions. What should be inflaming community tensions is that little girls have been attacked, maimed, slaughtered. This will affect them for the rest of their lives because of essentially woke politics. And again, it's not the right wing that's the problem. If you look at politics, I mean, this chart here tells you everything about the extremities of politics. It's the left who have gone extreme. And if it does actually turn out that the perpetrator is of a certain demographic, you just know the left on social media will all round up and say that it's his demographic who are the real victims here. And then the circle continues. When does it stop? And because we, as a British society, a British, Western, civilised society, or those of us anyway, want our little children to be protected, then we are labelled as far right. That's the way it is. This story is utterly, utterly heartbreaking. And like I said, I couldn't sleep last night for a long, long time, and it wasn't the heat. I saw those pictures on social media. I wish I hadn't, but it's the reality of how Britain is now. Britain isn't safe. It really isn't. And the left, they really need to take a good, long, hard look at themselves about the things they're advocating for. Because, when they're finished with us, they'll come for them. And what then? I really do fear for our future, folks. I really do. And there we go. I'm past 49. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, Roger Trout.